問題1。
問題1では、はじめに質問を聞いてください。それから話を聞いて、問題用紙の1から4の中から一番いいものを一つ選んでください。
例、
クラスで先生が話しています。学生は今日、うちでどこを勉強しますか？
では、今日は20ページまで終わりましたから、21ページは宿題ですね。
全部ですか？
いえ、21ページの1番です。2番はクラスでします。
学生は今日、うちでどこを勉強しますか？
So first we have the scenario, which was クラスで先生が話しています。ね、クラスで means in the classroom, sensei is teacher, 話しています is talking. So it's an easy scenario, right? The teacher is talking in the classroom, and the question that we need to keep in mind while we are listening was 学生は今日うちでどこを勉強しますか？ So 学生 the student, 今日 today, うちで at home, right? どこを勉強しますか？ Where will study, right? So a more natural translation would be where are the students doing, as a homework today? And then if you looked at the pictures, we have pages 20 and 21. So it's a kind of an easy picture to scan, I would say. Anyway, let's look at the script. The teacher first says, では、今日は20ページまで終わりましたから、21ページは宿題ですね。So the teacher is saying, では、so today, 今日は、we finished ね、終わりましたからね、we finished, so we finished what? Until page 20, 20ページまでね、until。だから、ね、終わりましたから、so 21ページは page 21 is 宿題 is homework. So I would say that at this point number 2 is out of question already, right? Because it includes page 20. But then the student asks, 全部ですか? 全部 means everything, right? So is it everything? Meaning page 21, all page 21? And then the teacher says, いいえ、21ページの一番です。ね? So the homework, this is your answer. The homework is 21ページの一番. So it's only number 1, right? It's number 1 of page 21. So that brings us to the answer, which is number 4, right? And she carries on saying, 2番はクラスでします。So the number 2 of page 21 is going to be done in the classroom, meaning that it's not homework. Okay, so that means then that our answer was number 4. Okay, so let's listen one more time and follow along with, read along with the conversation.
クラスで先生が話しています。学生は今日、うちでどこを勉強しますか？
では、今日は20ページまで終わりましたから、21ページは宿題ですね。
全部ですか？
いえ、21ページの1番です。2番はクラスでします。
1番、
男の人と女の人が話しています。男の人はどこへ行きますか？
すみません。喫茶店緑はどこですか？
喫茶店緑ですね。あそこに交差点がありますね。
はい。
あの交差点を左に曲がってください。道の左側に銀行があります。喫茶店緑は銀行の隣ですよ。
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
男の人はどこへ行きますか？
Hi, so let's look at this scenario. It was 男の人と女の人が話しています。So a man, 男の人, and a woman, 女の人が話しています。They are talking. And then the question was, 男の人はどこへ行きますか？ Where is the man going? どこへ行きますか？ Right? And then if we look at the picture, we see the 男の人と女の人 talking, right? And then there is a map, right? But it's important that you're looking at this while you're listening. But anyway, let's look at the script. So first, the man says, すみません。喫茶店緑はどこですか? So the man is looking for a 喫茶店, which is like a coffee shop called Midori, right? Which actually means green. But also could be the name of a female, is a female name, and also a name of a place, right? There's a famous Home Depot place in Japan called Midori as well. Anyway, 喫茶店緑はどこですか? And then the woman says, 喫茶店緑ですね. So she's double checking that she heard the correct name of the 喫茶店. And then she says, あそこに交差点がありますね. So she's looking, right? Imagine that literally if you look at the picture, they're looking right forward and then she's pointing at the crossing, right? 交差点 is crossing. And then she says, well, the man says, はい, meaning, yes, I can see the crossing. So then the woman says, あの交差点を左に曲がってください. Right? So, あの交差点 at that crossing, 左に left, ね、曲がってください turn. So please turn left at that crossing or intersection, perhaps would be a better translation, right? And then she continues, 道の左側に銀行があります. So 道 is street or way, right? 左側 is at the left side. 側 is side. There is a bank. 銀行 means bank. So after the man turns left, 左に曲がる, he will see a bank on his left. That's the translation, right? So then we look, we're looking, we see in the picture, right? So then the next one would be either number 1 or number 3 because number 2 and number 4 is already kind of out of question, right? And then she continues, 喫茶店緑は銀行の隣ですよ. So the 喫茶店緑 is 隣, next to the bank. So that brings us to number 3, right? Because number 1 would be across from the bank, right? 反対側. But in this case, it's next to 隣. So the man says, わかりました。ありがとうございます. So that means that our correct answer was number 3. So let's listen one more time and read along.
男の人と女の人が話しています。男の人はどこへ行きますか？
すみません。喫茶店緑はどこですか？
喫茶店緑ですね。あそこに交差点がありますね。
はい。
あの交差点を左に曲がってください。道の左側に銀行があります。喫茶店緑は銀行の隣ですよ。
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
男の人はどこへ行きますか？
2番、
会社で女の人と男の人が話しています。男の人はどの雑誌を女の人に渡しますか？
木村さん、すみません。木村さんの後ろにある雑誌を取ってください。
時計の雑誌ですか？車の雑誌ですか？
時計の雑誌です。
一番新しい8月のですか？
いいえ、7月のをお願いします。
はい。
男の人はどの雑誌を女の人に渡しますか？
はい。So, the scenario was 会社で女の人と男の人が話しています。So, a man and a woman, right? A woman and a man are talking, but here is 会社で. So, remember, 会社 means company, factory, right? As a workplace, right? Office. And the question was 男の人はどの雑誌を女の人に渡しますか? So, what 雑誌 magazine will the man 男の人、渡します、hand in to give, right, to the woman. So then we know that we have when you're looking at the picture at first, perhaps you don't know if it's a zashi or if it's a hong, right? But now we know that it's a zashi, it's a magazine. And then we see the top two are watches and the top bottom are cars, right? And then we have Shichigatsu, Hachigatsu, which are the months, July and August. So with that in mind, while we were listening, right, we would be able to get the answer. But the first person, who I believe is the woman, she says, Kimura-san, sumimasen, ne? Mr. Kimura, excuse me, ne? Sumimasen here is more like, excuse me. 木村さんの後ろにある雑誌を取ってください。So, 取ってください means please take it, ね、grab it. 取る is the verb, 取ります、取らない、取って。And where is the 雑誌? 木村さんの後ろ. So in Japan, instead of saying あなたの後ろ, we usually say the name instead of あなた, right? So Kimura-san, she's referring basically to the person that she's talking. So a natural translation would be, please take me or get me the magazine behind you, all right? And then he says, 時計の雑誌ですか? 車の雑誌ですか? So it's like, is it the magazine of 時計, watches, or the magazine of kuruma, which is cars, right? So then we know if it's number 1 and number 3 or number 2 and number 4. So it's very important that we catch the next phrase. And then she says, 時計の雑誌です, meaning that number 2 and number 4 is out of question, right? And then he asks them, 一番新しい8月のですか? So do you want me to take you, to get you? 一番新しい, the newest, ね? The number one new, meaning the newest. 8月のですか? August, ね? The one from August. So the natural translation would be, would you like me to get you the latest from August? And then she says, いいえ、7月のをお願いします。No, please take me or get me the one from July, ね、7月. So then we know that the answer is number 1. And then he says, はい. So number 1 was our answer. Let's listen one more time and read along.
2番、
会社で女の人と男の人が話しています。男の人はどの雑誌を女の人に渡しますか？
木村さん、すみません。木村さんの後ろにある雑誌を取ってください。
時計の雑誌ですか？車の雑誌ですか？
時計の雑誌です。
一番新しい8月のですか？
いいえ、7月のをお願いします。
はい。
3番、
学校で先生が話しています。学生は次何日に学校に来ますか？
皆さん、明日から休みですね。休みは4日から9日まで6日間です。10日はテストをします。休まないでください。では、6日間、ゆっくり休んで、また学校に来てください。
学生は次何日に学校に来ますか？
はい。Number 3. じゃあ、まずセナリオは、学校で先生が話しています。We already had this scenario, right? The teacher is talking at school, and then the question was, 学生は次何日に学校に来ますか? So, the student, 学生は次 means next, right? Next, 何日に what day. Nanichi is a day, right? If we look at the picture, we can see the days here. And on what day 学校に来ますか will come to school. So the question is, when will the students be returning to school, right? Or coming here is coming, but after we listen to, we know that returning would be a proper translation. Anyway, the teacher says, so this is not a dialogue, it's only the teacher speaking, and she says, 皆さん、明日から休みですね。So, 皆さん, everybody, 明日から, so from tomorrow, 休みです. It's a holiday. And then she says, 休みは4日から9日まで6日間です。Right? So the holiday, or 休み is from 4日. 4日 is the fourth until, からまで until 9日 is the ninth, right? So a total of 6 days. 6日間です。Okay? 6日間です。10日はテストをします。So on the 10th, I will do a test, right? On the 10th. So, 休まないでください. Please don't skip school, right? Please don't be absent. Don't take a break would be the direct translation. And then she carries on before we review the answers. では、6日間ゆっくり休んでまた学校に来てください. Right? So she says, では、so, during 6 days, ね、6日間、ゆっくり休んで、so rest well, and return to school. また学校に来てください. So the answer was number 2, 10日. And let's listen one more time and read along.
3番、
学校で先生が話しています。学生は次何日に学校に来ますか？
皆さん、明日から休みですね。休みは4日から9日まで6日間です。10日はテストをします。休まないでください。では、6日間、ゆっくり休んで、また学校に来てください。
4番、
うちで女の学生と男の学生が話しています。男の学生は冷蔵庫から何を出しますか？
あ、12時ですね。お昼ご飯を食べましょう。私が作りますよ。
何かしましょうか？
ありがとう。じゃあ、冷蔵庫から卵を2個と牛乳を出してください。
はい。
それから、魚も出してください。あ、すみません。卵は3個お願いします。
はい。
男の学生は冷蔵庫から何を出しますか？
はい、4番。Scenario is うちで女の学生と男の学生が話しています。So, うちで means like a house, in the house, right? A student, a female student and a male student are talking, right? So, if we have two students talking, so this might actually be a dorm, okay? In Japan, especially universities, we have the university's dorm where we have all the students. So this could be, and they have the kitchen, so this could be a dorm. And the question was, 男の学生は冷蔵庫から何を出しますか? So what is the male student taking? ね、出す is to get out. ね? So getting out of the fridge. ね、冷蔵庫 is fridge. So what is the student getting out of the fridge? Okay, so the pictures is all ingredients, right? So it's kind of an easy one, but it can be tricky. So let's listen then to the script. The first, the A, which is the female student, right? She says, あ、12時ですね。お昼ご飯を食べましょう。So it's like, oh, it's already noon. Let's have lunch. ね、お昼ご飯、lunch 食べましょう。Let's eat. 私が作りますよ。 I will make it, right? 作ります is to 料理を作るね to prepare food. The male student says 何かしましょうか which is, do you need me to do anything? Can I help you with anything? And then the male student says 何かしましょうか which is like, would you like me, do you need help with anything? Should I do anything? And she says ありがとう。じゃあ、冷蔵庫から卵を2個と牛乳を出してください。So this is the answer, right? 冷蔵庫から出す。So we know that this is like what we're looking for. So she says, thank you. じゃあ、so in that case, meaning, if you want to help me, 冷蔵庫から from the fridge, can you get me 卵を2個, 2 eggs, and 牛乳, which is milk. So this would means that the answer right now is number 2, right? But remember, like we need to listen until the end. So you keep your pencil on top of 2 now, because that's the answer that you're going to choose, but you still pay attention to the rest because it can change, which is the case here. Then he says, hi. Now like, okay, I got it. Okay, and then next she says, それから魚も出してください。あ、すみません。卵は3個お願いします。So, new information. She was like, oh, then also can you get me the fish, right? Sakana, fish. And then she actually changes the egg. She's like, oh, like maybe she realized that she needs 3 eggs instead of 2. So she's like, sumimasen, I'm sorry, but can you get me 3 eggs, right? Tamago wa 3個お願いします. And then he says, hai. So the answer to her question, what is the male student getting from the fridge, then would be number 1, which is 牛乳, the milk, the sakana, right, the fish, and not 2 but 3 eggs. All right, let's listen to the conversation one more time and read along.
4番、
うちで女の学生と男の学生が話しています。男の学生は冷蔵庫から何を出しますか？
あ、12時ですね。お昼ご飯を食べましょう。私が作りますよ。
何かしましょうか？
ありがとう。じゃあ、冷蔵庫から卵を2個と牛乳を出してください。
はい。
それから、魚も出してください。あ、すみません。卵は3個お願いします。
はい。
5番、
日本語学校で女の人と男の人が話しています。女の人は何曜日のクラスで勉強しますか？
すみません。1週間に1回、日本語で話す練習をしたいです。夜のクラスはありますか？
はい。夜のクラスは毎週月曜日、火曜日、木曜日、金曜日です。夜6時からです。
火曜日と金曜日は仕事が6時に終わりません。
そうですか。では月曜日がいいですよ。木曜日のクラスは話す時間が短いです。
わかりました。じゃあ、来週から勉強したいです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
女の人は何曜日のクラスで勉強しますか？
Hi, number 5. Let's look at the scenario. It was 日本語学校で女の人と男の人が話しています。So a woman and a man are talking where? 日本語学校で at a Japanese school. Okay? And the question was 女の人は何曜日のクラスで勉強しますか？ So 何曜日のクラス the woman な女の人は何曜日のクラス on which day of the week's class, Japanese class, right? 勉強しますか will study. So a more natural translation would be on which class of the week would the female be taking? Okay, that would be the question. And then we have 4 options: Monday, Getsuyobi, Kayobi, Tuesday, Mokuyobi, Thursday, and Friday, Kinyobi ですね。So let's look at the script. So A, the woman says, すみません。1週間に1回、ね、once a week、日本語で話す練習をしたいです。I would like to practice 練習をしたいです。日本語で話す to talk in Japanese. In other words, a conversation class, right? 夜のクラスはありますか? Do you have a class at night? Right? That I can speak in Japanese. And then the man says, はい。夜のクラスは、ね、yes, the class at night are every week, ね、毎週。Monday, 月曜日、火曜日、ね、Tuesday, 木曜日、Thursday, and Friday. So we have all of the options, right? 夜の6時からです。all of them from 6 p.m. So at this point, we don't know where to lean yet, right? But then she says, like thinking about it, right? 火曜日と金曜日は Tuesday and Fridays 仕事 means work, ね、her work, her job 6時に終わりません、ね、doesn't finish by 6 or at 6, right? I would say by 6, a better translation. Meaning that she cannot attend, right? So that means that Kayobi, number 2, and Kinyobi, number 4, are out of the question, right? So now we are either number 1 or number 3. And then the guy says, そうですか? Oh, really? Well, in that case, では、月曜日がいいですよ。ね? In that case, Monday's class is better. Why? Because 木曜日のクラスは the class on Thursdays 話す時間が短いです。The speaking time is 短い short. So it's not really what she's looking for, right? And then she says, わかりました. I got it. じゃあ、okay, in that case, 来週から勉強したいです。I would like to start, ね、studying from next week. どうぞよろしくお願いします。どうぞよろしくお願いします if you don't know yet is a very typical Japanese expression. It's kind of hard to translate, to put into English. You know, I like to translate it as I'm counting on you, but the idea is that, like, you know, whenever you are meeting that person again and you will have a relationship, you know, like you'll be seeing them multiple times and getting some sort of service, you know, working together. It's just the image of having a relationship, you know, with that person. So if you know that you're never going to meet that person again, you wouldn't say yoroshiku onegaishimasu. But if you know that, you know, from now on, they're going to become part of your daily life, or even if it's once a week, then it's an expression that you would say. Basically, that brings us to the correct answer being number 1, Getsuyobi, right? So, Mokuyobi no kurasu is very short, so it's not really what she's looking for. So she will be coming to the Monday's class. So let's listen one more time and read along.
5番、
日本語学校で女の人と男の人が話しています。女の人は何曜日のクラスで勉強しますか？
すみません。1週間に1回、日本語で話す練習をしたいです。夜のクラスはありますか？
はい。夜のクラスは毎週月曜日、火曜日、木曜日、金曜日です。夜6時からです。
火曜日と金曜日は仕事が6時に終わりません。
そうですか。では月曜日がいいですよ。木曜日のクラスは話す時間が短いです。
わかりました。じゃあ、来週から勉強したいです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
6番、
日本語学校で先生が学生に話しています。学生は明日の午前、どの教室に行きますか？午前です。
明日の午前はクラスに
日本人の学生が来ますから、広い教室で授業をします。2階の4番の教室に来てください。午後は1階の3番の教室で授業をします。
学生は明日の午前、どの教室に行きますか？
Hi, number 6. Let's look at the scenario. It was 日本語学校で先生が学生に話しています。So the teacher, sensei, is talking to the student, right? 学生に話しています。Where? 日本語学校で at the Japanese school. Okay? And the question was 学生は明日の午前 the students 明日 tomorrow の午前 in the morning time. Okay? So 午前 is morning time before noon. 午後 is the afternoon time. Okay? Afternoon. Literally. And どの教室に行きますか？Which classroom, okay, will they go? 教室 is like a classroom. So let's look at the narration, right? The script. So this is not a dialogue, it's only the teacher talking. So he starts saying, 明日の午前はクラスに日本人の学生が来ますから、ね。So tomorrow's morning class ね、明日の午前のクラスに日本人の学生が来ますから、the Japanese students will come, so から広い教室で授業をします。I will be doing the lesson, ね、the class in a 広い教室 a wide, bigger classroom. Okay, so that means that they are changing basically the classroom, right? So this most likely is a university where they change the classrooms. Then he says 2階の4番の教室に来てください. So please come 来てください to the classroom on level 2, right? Second floor, 2階の4番. So that means that number 4, 2階の4番ですね. And then he continues, but this is just to trick you guys. He says, 午後は、ね、in the afternoon, 1階の3番の教室で授業します. In the afternoon, I will be doing the class in the classroom on level 1, first floor, number 3. Which is number 1 here, right? So this is just to confuse us, but the answer is number 4, right? Because the question was 学生は明日の午前ね the morning time, where will they be going? Which classroom will they be going to, right? So that is number 4. So let's listen one more time and read along.
6番、
日本語学校で先生が学生に話しています。学生は明日の午前、どの教室に行きますか？午前です。
明日の午前はクラスに日本人の学生が来ますから、広い教室で授業をします。2階の4番の教室に来てください。午後は1階の3番の教室で授業をします。
学生は明日の午前、どの教室に行きますか？
7番、
女の人と男の人が話しています。女の人は何を持って行きますか？
佐藤さん、日曜日、佐藤さんの家でパーティーをしますね。何か持って行きましょうか。飲み物はどうですか？
ありがとうございます。飲み物はたくさんありますから、食べ物がいいです。じゃあ、おにぎりを持ってきてください。私はスパゲティを作ります。
わかりました。
それから、カメラはありますか？
はい。
パーティーの時使いたいですから、貸してください。
はい、いいですよ。
女の人は何を持っていきますか？
はい、number 7. Let's look at the scenario. It was 女の人と男の人が話しています。A man and a woman are talking. And then the question was 女の人は何を持っていきますか？ What will the woman 持っていく is to grab and go. In a more natural translation would be will be taking with her, right? And then let's look at the script. So A says, who is the woman, she says, 佐藤さん、日曜日佐藤さんのうちでパーティーをしますね。So, hey, Mr. Sato, on Sunday, 日曜日, we're having a party at your house, right? しますね. This ね here is like, right? And then she continues, 何か持っていきましょうか? Like, would you like me to bring something? ね、何か something? 飲み物はどうですか? Like, 飲み物 is drinks, beverage. So she's like, how about beverages? Like, how about if I bring some drinks? And then he says, ありがとうございます. Thank you very much for offering, right? But he says, 飲み物はたくさんありますから、I have lots of drinks already, right? 食べ物がいいです。I prefer food, meaning I prefer if you actually bring some food. And then he continues, じゃあ, so in that case, おにぎりを持ってきてください. Please bring some おにぎり, right? Which are the Japanese triangle rice balls, right? And then he says, 私はスパゲッティを作ります. I will be making the spaghetti, right? So that means that number 1 and number 3 is out of question, right? Because is either number 2 or number 4. And then she says, わかりました. I got it. それから、カメラはありますか? He asks her, oh, and like, by the way, do you have a camera? And then she says, はい。Yes. And then he says, パーティーの時、使いたいですから、貸してください。So, 貸してください is, let me borrow, right? Can I borrow? I would like to use it. 使いたいですから、during the party ね。パーティーの時。So, during the party, I would like to use the camera. So, can I borrow it? Would you lend me? And then she says, はい。いいですよ. Yes, no problem. Okay, so that means that what the woman will be bringing to the party is number 4, right? A camera and the onigiris. Okay, so let's listen one more time and read along.
7番、
女の人と男の人が話しています。女の人は何を持っていきますか？
佐藤さん、日曜日、佐藤さんの家でパーティーをしますね。何か持っていきましょうか。飲み物はどうですか？
ありがとうございます。飲み物はたくさんありますから、食べ物がいいです。じゃあ、おにぎりを持ってきてください。私はスパゲティを作ります。
わかりました。
それから、カメラはありますか？
はい。
パーティーの時使いたいですから貸してください。
はい、いいですよ。
Hi, so this is the end of this test. お疲れ様でした。On my next video, I will be explaining the 問題2 part 2 questions. So I'll see you on that video. それではまた。バイバイ。